His name is what?
Yahweh or
Yahweh.
Yeah.
That's right, brother. So the Most High God, Yahweh, he looks like us, and his son looks like us. Right? So as his chosen people, we got to be holy, which means set apart. We got to keep the commandments. So you willing to grow your beard out, right, brother?
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
You sure, brother?
Yeah. Yeah, it ain't too hard.
Out, right?
Shalom.
Shalom.
Well, you don't know what that is?
We know what shalom means.
Oh, okay.
What are y'all, Jewish?
You had me wondering for a second there. No, we're not Jewish.
Okay.
We're grafted in.
You're grafted in, you're sure?
Yeah.
Who is the unnatural branches and who's the natural branches?
Israel is the natural branch.
Who's the unnatural branches?
The Gentiles.
Gentiles.
Gentiles, you sure? Go to Jeremiah 11 and 26. Or 16.
It's like they planned that. We already knew.
I actually was looking at this verse earlier today. So that's the spirit, same thing. Let's see if you guys are the unnatural branches. Read that.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 11, verse 16. The Lord called thy name
Right, don't go nowhere, brother.
a green olive
A
tree.
green olive tree. That's what you read about in Romans, the 11th chapter. Talking about the natural and the unnatural branches. Jeremiah 11 and 16. Right? So, and where y'all getting this idea from that y'all grafted in?
We get it from
Romans 11. But it says olives to olives, which means they're of the same nation. Now, y'all would have a point if it said olives to apples, but it's olives to olives. You know? So, who
Jeremiah chapter.
who is called the olives throughout the Bible? It's the Israelites.
Oh, for sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
There's
the,
the 10
the other
tribes.
nations isn't called olives.
Well,
Olive trees.
Yahweh always used the other nations. Ruth was a Moabitess.
Okay. But Ruth was a
Rahab.
slave, though.
Rahab, but she's in the line of Messiah.
She was in the line of
So is
Messiah.
Rahab.
So,
Go to, you gonna address
Okay,
this
you ready?
point?
yeah. We're
No,
not, no, we're
don't
not,
go nowhere. Right?
no, I'm not going to stand here and debate.
No, we don't
Go
want
to
to debate.
Proverbs
We just
28.
want to have
debate the
Go to Proverbs 28 and 10.
Yahweh's name right there. We wanted to say shalom.
Okay. So what's y'all father's nationality?
Huh?
What's y'all father's nationality?
I know I got 4 German in me.
What's your father's, though?
My father's? My father's father, probably German.
Okay, so you would be an Edomite. What about you?
We'll probably be sons of Jacob. Shem, Ham, Japheth, we'll probably Japheth.
No.
Okay, what not?
Japheth are the Hawaiians. You talking about Genesis, the 10th chapter, right? Noah begat Japheth. The Japhites was originally in Magog.
They went up
And then the
Europe.
Europeans took over that landmass. The people in the land today are Edomites. But originally, it was Japhites in that land, which are the Hawaiians today.
Right.
You know,
I'm not
that
all-
doesn't mean that y'all are Japhites, y'all are Edomites. Y'all just took over that land, right?
Well-
What I'll tell you.
Okay, we're not going to get nowhere.
Okay.
We don't want to argue.
I mean,
about
don't the
it
Bible
or
say
anything.
contend for the faith?
It does.
That's
but
Jude
Yeah,
it's-
1
but
and
it doesn't
33.
say contend.
but we
It
don't
doesn't?
wanna-
I mean, it says contend for the faith, yes, but it doesn't say we should be battling each other.
Yeah.
It doesn't?
Yeah,
I mean, we
so
can
What is
go on,
contending
we
for
can
the
go
faith?
on all night
Say
long with
shalom.
scripture back and forth. And
Okay, y'all can go
Get
read
nowhere.
that. We're going to get back to the brother.
Okay, you have a good day.
No, you can't. We see what the other nations are doing to us. Why they down deporting the indigenous people? You know, to
You know, we was just talking about that earlier. Why are they not going after,
Yeah.
Edomites, the so-called white man that's over here illegally?
yeah, they came from Africa. Right, but they not going after them.
South Africa.
You know, Trump actually, he said something like he felt bad for him. He wanted to let them go.
You
But when
also,
it comes to the Mexicans, even though y'all been on this land, he's trying to deport y'all.
Yeah.
I heard you also have a lot of Europeans that's over here illegally.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
All right, go to Leviticus 11 and 7. It's another commandment. You know, it's another commandment.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 7. And the swine.
You know what swan is, brother?
Like the bird or
Swine.
Oh,
It
swan.
do sound like it says swan.
Yeah.
But it's swine.
No, I don't know what.
That's pig, right? You
Okay.
know that pig was native to this side of the world, right? That, meaning they wasn't originally over here. You
Yeah.
know the so-called white man brought pig over here? Because y'all wasn't originally eating eating swine, because y'all knew that y'all was Israelites, right? Y'all was wearing fringes before being colonized. Y'all
Yeah.
wasn't eating pork, you know, so on and so forth. Y'all speaking Hebrew. Read.
And the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud.
Right? He chewed not a cud. He don't properly digest his food right, you know, like other animals.
Right,
You
like
know?
a cow, for example, they have 4 stomachs
Yeah.
to help them digest food, and pigs only have 1 stomach, like a human.
And pigs don't sweat, right? They don't sweat properly.
And they'll eat anything too.
You know, they
Yeah.
eat a dead body. If somebody dropped dead right now, a
Right.
damn pig would eat that body. Right? So the Lord is telling us to do that for our own good. Right?
Yeah.
Agree?
He
How
is
y'all doing?
unclean to you.
Y'all believe in the Bible?
Yep.
Y'all got a minute for the Lord? Right? So you willing to put down the pork, brother?
Oh, I don't really
All
eat
praises,
pork.
right?
Yeah.
So it's another one. Then we're going to get to y'all, right?
Verse 8, of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch, they are unclean to you.
Right? Read.
Verse 9, these shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters, in the seas and in the rivers, them shall ye eat.
So God said we can only eat things in the water with fins and scales. So what in the water doesn't have fins and scales? Y'all know? Y'all don't?
Said shark.
Right? Fins
No,
and scales though. That's a correct answer. Right? What's
So
up?
shark?
Yeah. It has to have fins and
Oh, we
scales
gotta
for
have
us
little,
to,
yeah.
right, for us to eat it. You know? So what's some sisters like to eat? Seafood boys, right? Y'all love that, right? Shrimp don't have fins and scales. A crab don't have fins and scales. You know, we like to eat crab legs, right? Yeah. We ain't like the Chinese people eating octopus and things like that,
Yeah.
right? So we can't eat that either. You know, read.
And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters.
Right? Revelation 1 and 13.
This
Right,
is the book
brother,
of
you got
Revelation.
YouTube?
Yeah,
Got your
yeah, I
phone?
got, yeah, I
We
got
gonna get you our YouTube after this, all right?
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man.
Right, y'all know who the Son of Man is, right? That's
Jesus?
another. Right. Read.
Clothed with a garment down to the foot,
So Christ had a garment down to the foot, right?
and girt about his paps with a golden girdle.
Read.
Verse 14, his head and his hairs were white like wool.
Right, so it said Christ had white woolly hair. Who has woolly hair today? Woolly is like a sheep. Y'all ever seen a sheep? That brother, his hair just like a sheep. Right, so Christ had hair like that. You know, so that's strike one on this man, right? That's strike one. Y'all know how baseball works. 3 strikes and you out. So that's strike one.
His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow.
Right, so it was white in texture. It was woolly in texture, and it was white in color. Right,
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
who got the fierce look in their eye? Do he got a fierce look in his eyes? That man don't got no fierce look in his eyes. He just want to love everybody. Right, read.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
Right, so it said Christ's feet was like fine brass. Y'all know what color brass is? What color? Copper. It's like your color. Right, read.
As if they, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
How dark was the Lord?
As if they burned in a furnace.
Y'all heard that? What did you say?
Wait, say what was on the burning furnace?
And his feet like
I know
unto
it's hot,
fine
brother.
brass,
I know it's hot.
Yeah.
as if they burned in a furnace.
Right, so the Lord was so dark. John said it looked like he got burnt alive in the furnace. Right? So Christ got to be what? He got to be a so-called black man today. So if he's a so-called black man, what do you think his people look like? Because he was a Jew, right? All right, so you got many Jews. You got Barnabas and Simeon. So if he looked like a so-called Negro, what y'all think his people look like? Like Negroes, right? The 12 tribes of Israel is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. This brother would be an Israelite from the tribe of Issachar, right? The Mexicans, right? Go to Deuteronomy 28:15. You got your phone on you, brother?
Yeah.
We get you our information. We know it's hot out here.
Yeah.
All right. Just look into the information. What's some commandments you learned?
I shouldn't be eating pork.
Pork.
I shouldn't shave my beard, and what's the other one?
Right.
Shouldn't eat fish or certain fish.
Shrimp, crab, lobster.
Crab, lobster. Yeah.
All right. So the sister says she learned it too. So you can't eat none without fins and scales in the water. You can eat fish. There's other clean animals you can eat: chicken, cow, beef,
Ox,
lamb, goat, right?
Deer.
Right. So before you go, brother.
I'm an Israelite, right?
All right. From
Yeah.
what tribe?
From let's see, was it Issachar?
Issachar.
Yeah.
Right. So don't forget that, brother.
Yeah, I won't.
All right. What's your name?
Omar.
Omar.
Yeah.
All right. So look into the information, learn more, get built up.
Yeah, I will.
All right. So all praise to the Most
Appreciate
High.
it.
All right. So how we know we the Israelites is because of biblical prophecy. All right. Deuteronomy 28:15.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day,
You got it right.
I know, right? Sorry.
that all these curses,
And all these what?
shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
All right. So Moses is talking to the Israelites. He just got done freeing them from Pharaoh and the Egyptians. So he's telling them they don't listen to God. Curses is gonna come upon them. What y'all think we did as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans? You know, that like to just
Hope
do,
we listen to God.
right? But we didn't. You know. So now it's about to start listening to curses. Verse 16.
Verse 16, cursed shall thou be in the city.
Right. So God said, as a curse, you will be cursed in the city. Now, who's cursed in every major city you look at? Blacks, right? Hispanics, and Americans. Right? Who? Minorities. Who's living on Section 8? Food stamps, right? Gang banging, drug out on drugs,
gang violence,
Right.
mostly locked up. The majority of our people are locked up.
getting killed by the police. Right? Read.
Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
It said, cursed shall thou be in the field. Now, who's cursed in the college? Right, that's right. So far, who are we according to the Bible? According to the curses.
Curse.
What you gonna say, brother?
I was about to say curse, but you said.
Yeah, we are cursed, but what would be our nationality? Rome? No. All right, Romans 11:1. We here to show y'all. All right, so African American, I believe that term started in 1980. That's the name of two different white men, Leo Scipio Africanus and Amerigo Vespucci. Right? So we don't descend from two Caucasians, dude. We don't, right? Romans 11:1.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 1. I say then, hath God cast away his people? God forbid. For I also am an Israelite.
I'm an African American.
For I also am an Israelite.
What's your nationality? Israelite. Right. So we're gonna go back to the curses and prove it furthermore. You know, did y'all grow up with y'all father in the household?
He did.
He did. All right, watch this. This is another one of the curses.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother.
What does that sound like? His eye shall be evil towards his brother. Jealousy, right? Who's the only people on the earth that make music about killing themselves? Right? It said his eye shall be evil towards his brother. You don't see the Chinese man doing that. You don't see Tanner and Stryker doing that. Right? We the only ones who do that. Right?
His eye shall be evil toward his brother and toward the wife of his bosom.
Right? And we have an evil eye towards our woman. Who talks about in songs horn a woman out? Right? Right. They don't want to just hit one time and leave. Right? Read.
And toward the remnant of his children.
And he was going to have an evil eye towards his children. Read.
Which he shall lead.
Nah, he was going to stay the race.
Which he shall lead.
Right? That's in the Bible. The Bible said that an Israelite man was going to leave his children. Right? Sister says, you ain't grow up with your father in the house? We didn't either. Right? So that's a curse sent from God. All right? We grew up with a stepdad as well. You know. So this is gonna be the icing on the
brothers?
cake, huh?
My brothers.
Yeah, we brothers. So y'all know how we got to America?
Some ships.
Ships. The brother got it. All right. You agree with that, right?
Yeah.
Watch this. Y'all know that's in the Bible? That's one of the curses.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Right? Y'all know what the Israelites doing in ancient Egypt? Right? Exodus 20 and 2. Let's go and do Exodus 20 and 2. We're going to show y'all what the Israelites were doing in ancient Egypt.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which hath brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
It said out of the house of bondage. Egypt is synonymous with bondage. Because when the Israelites was in ancient Egypt, there was what? They was in bondage. They were slaves. Deuteronomy 28:68.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Meaning what again? And they was in slavery in ancient Egypt. Right? What does it mean? They was in slavery in ancient Egypt. The Lord said, I'm going to bring you into Egypt again.
Did you slave?
Right? Slavery again. Now, let me ask you something. What's on the back of your dollar?
It's on the back of the dress.
What
It's on
else?
the front. I forgot.
On the back of the dollar is the pyramid, the Egyptian
Oh, yeah.
pyramid. Right? So the Lord said he was going to bring us into Egypt again, meaning slavery again. And also, this place we would go to will have the mannerisms of ancient Egypt. Read.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
With what?
With ships.
On a plane.
With ships.
Right? So who went into slavery on ships?
Who did what?
Who went into slavery on ships? Right? So God said that would happen. He said, I'll bring you into Egypt again with ships. Meaning slavery again. Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
And we want to see our homeland. What's our true homeland? Well, Africa is a continent with over 50 countries, right? So, what country do we come from? What the Tobit want to say? Tobit want to
This is the book of Tobit, chapter 1, verse 4. And when I was in mine own country, in the land of Israel.
Where?
In the land of Israel.
That's our true homeland is Israel, right? Go back to Deuteronomy.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
What's going to happen?
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
All right, so who was we sold to when we got off those ships? White people, right? So God called them our what? Our enemies, right? So the brother on it. We ain't making this up. We just reading what the Bible says. Right, read.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
And that word buy in the Hebrew means redeem. So nobody's going to redeem us except who the world enemy called Jesus Christ. You know, Martin Luther King tried it. Malcolm X tried it. What is his name? Marcus Garvey, Black Panthers. You know, so if not keeping the commandments, God, staying in slavery on ships, what should we be doing? What y'all think? I know you know, brother. If not keeping the commandments, God sending the slavery on ships, what should we be doing? Go to Deuteronomy 76. That's right, sister. Keeping the commandments. Right? Because y'all know we God's chosen people, right? Y'all think everybody's created equal? Y'all think that? Why not? Right? Right, the so-called white man told us that. Everybody ain't created equal. Deuteronomy 76.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6.
First go to Deuteronomy 1 and 1. Let's see who Moses is talking to. Right? He's telling them what God said. Right? Deuteronomy 1
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1, verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
Right, so who is Moses talking to in Deuteronomy?
God. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
So who's Moses talking to? Yeah?
The Israel.
Israelites.
And us.
Yeah, that's us. I get what you're coming from, right? He's talking to the Israelites. So from this day forward, we can no longer call ourselves black.
Calling myself Israel.
Israelite, that's right. Because you're not the color of your shirt, right? Are you different shades of brown? You know, black isn't a nationality. Where's the country of black? Right?
You're right.
Where's the language of black? Right? Deuteronomy 7:6. Let's see if everybody was created equal.
Right? This is how the Most High God feels about y'all. Right? This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people, equal to, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Right? So God said that the Israelites are above everybody else on the earth. How that make y'all feel? Make y'all feel good? We don't get treated like it. Because we under the curses. We disobeyed God. Right? So now we at the bottom. You know? And if we start
So the white man didn't disobey God?
He did, but go to Amos 3:3. He got a judgment coming to him. Actually, go to Revelation 13:10. Right?
This is the book of Revelation.
We can't get Amos first. So, let's say if you had a kid, right? And your kid is playing at a park with other kids. They do something bad. Right? Who you gonna punish? Your kid, or you gonna punish all the kids, even though it's not his kid? That's right, bro. Your kid. You gonna punish your kid. That's the same thing with God. Amos 3:1.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, all children of Israel.
Who is the children of Israel? Y'all know.
Why are you looking at me?
Y'all know.
Us.
Us, right? We're just making sure y'all paying attention.
Right, that's what I was doing.
Against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquity.
Right? So that's why we getting dealt with first. But the other nations, they do have judgment coming. Go to Obadiah 1:15. So the so-called white man, when Christ come back, they gonna get judged. You know? Obadiah 1:15. All the other nations gonna get judged, not just the so-called white race, which would be the Edomites according to the Bible, because we the Israelites, the so-called white race is the Edomites, right? So you got 18 nations in the Bible, so we make up one nation, that means it's 17 other nations, right? Obadiah 1:15.
And he said we should be above all? That's what you said?
Right. He said we are above all, but right now, we're not because we disobey the commandments.
Right.
But
So
one,
we're supposed to be above all now.
right, we're supposed to be, right? But when enough of us come back to who we are as the Israelites and start keeping the commandments, then we're going to be set on high above all the other nations, like we was meant to be. Right? Obadiah 1:15.
This is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 15. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen.
Right? Y'all know what the day of the Lord is, right?
The resurrection.
Yeah, that's when Christ comes back to the earth. Right? It said the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. Right? Is it more than that?
As thou hast done, it shall be
You have
done.
questions, sis? Okay, read.
As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee.
It said, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Now the other nations, Salaki, the other nations had us in numerous captivities. Right? This is the last captivity here in America. Right? You had the Syrian captivities, the Egyptian captivity, the Media Persia, so on and so forth. Right? So Revelation 13:10, this is what's going to happen to them when Christ comes back. This Christ speaking right here. Start at verse 9.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear.
Right?
He that leadeth into captivity,
Read that again.
he that leadeth into captivity
Uh-huh.
shall go into captivity.
Shall what?
Shall go into captivity.
Right? So Christ said you lead somebody into captivity, you got to go into captivity. Right? So, hey, that's out of Christ's own mouth. We ain't making that up. Right? So when Christ comes back, all the other nations are going to float. Well, all the nations are going to float to Jerusalem, right? And they're going to be in substitute and servitude to the Israelites. They're going to be slaves. Isaiah 14:1. Right? We're going to show y'all. We kind of got to get into it. All Isaiah 14:1.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 1.
All right, so the church ain't gonna read you all these verses we've been showing y'all. The church will never do that. Isaiah 14:1.
For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel.
All right, so the Lord's gonna finally have mercy on us. We're gonna not be at the bottom no more. Right, read.
And set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with
He
them.
said the strangers. The strangers is the other nations. Read.
And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them.
He said the house of Israel shall possess them. What does it mean to possess something?
To take over.
To take over. It means you own it. Like you possess those shoes. Like that brother possessed that shirt. Right, read.
And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants.
For what?
For servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were. And they shall rule over their oppressors.
All right, so that's what's gonna happen when Christ comes back. Right. So the white man, he is at top right now, but only for a time. When Christ comes back, we gonna be at the top. Go to 2 Ezra 6 and 9. Then we gonna get to all some commandments because we know it's hot out. Right. 2 Ezra 6 and 9.
This is the book of 2 Esdras chapter 6 and verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world.
Esau is another word for the Edomites. Right? He's the progenitor of the so-called white race. Right? It said Esau is the end of the world. Read.
And Jacob is the beginning of it that followed.
And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. Now, we're Jacob. Right? So we got next in the upcoming world. Because this world that we know is going to be destroyed. America's going to be destroyed by nuclear fire according to the Bible. Right? So, and we want to be saved from that. We got to come back to the commandments. 2 Ezra 16:74 to that point. It's going to tie back into the commandments, going back to the point.
This is the book of 2 Esdras chapter 16 verse 73. Then shall they be known who are my chosen.
Right? Y'all are the chosen. Read.
And they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand.
It said the days of trouble are at hand. Y'all been seeing what's going on in the world? Damn, Trump bombed Iran's nuclear facility. Right? Israel and Iran at war. There's wars everywhere in the earth. Christ said those will be the signs of him getting ready to return. You know about that, right? Read.
Behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same.
Right? He's going to deliver us, though. But is he going to deliver just anybody living wickedly? Right? No. Read.
Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for God is your guide, and the guide of them who keep my commandments.
That what?
And the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, saith the Lord God.
Right? So we want to be protected by God. We got to keep the commandments. Now, y'all heard the commandments about the pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, right? Y'all willing to put that away for God? Y'all sure?
Yeah.
Go to St. John 14:15. Y'all love God, right? Okay. St. John 14:15. You love God, brother, right?
Yep.
You ain't seem too sure about that, brother.
Because, no, because I like crawfish, so like.
Yeah,
Well,
like we was telling the brother, you know, those are bottom feeders and they clean
yeah,
up.
they the roast of the ocean.
That's why God's telling us we can't eat those.
Yeah, if you eat crawfish, you might as well pick up a water bug and damn eat it, right? Because they the roast of the ocean, they clean the ocean. Right? They look exactly the same as a roast. Because loving God requires action. Just like if you told your mom you love her, right? You got to put action behind it. You can't damn tell your mom you love her and then you damn smack her in the face, right? That's the same thing with God. John 14:15.
This is the book of St. John, chapter 14 and verse 15. If ye love me, keep my commandments.
Read that again.
If ye love me, keep my commandments.
Right, so if y'all say y'all love God, we got to put it to the test. Right, so you got to put down the shrimp, crab, and lobster. Right, you got to put down the pork. This is another commandment. Let's get Numbers 15:38.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 15 and
And this
verse
for
38.
you too, brother. Go on your shirts, and you got shirts. And it's supposed to go on your shirts too.
Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments, throughout their generations.
Right? So y'all know what fringes is, right? That's this right here. Read.
And that they put
Brother
upon the
ain't look too sure
fringe
about that.
of the
I
borders
know.
a ribbon of blue.
Right? So you supposed to have a ribbon of blue on your fringes. Now, do we got this on just for style, right? The Lord gonna tell you what it's meant for. Read.
And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord and do them.
And what?
And do them.
Right? So the fringes is supposed to help you remember all the other commandments. Go to Deuteronomy 22 and what is that, 16? But we know it'll be hard and tough to get fringes on every shirt. So the Lord gave you an alternate option, right? You also have tzitzis. Y'all know what tzitzis is? Tassels. Okay, right. Read that.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verse 12. Thou shalt make thee fringes in the four corners of thy vesture, wherewith thou coverest thyself.
Right. So when you go into the Hebrew for fringes in Deuteronomy 22 and 12, it's the word tassels, right? Well, it means tassels. You know, so tassels is something you can clip on any pair of pants, any shirt, right? So you will be able to wear it with anything, right? Because it'll be kind of tough to get fringes on every shirt. You know, that may cost a little money.
I had to make them.
What you said?
I had to make them.
Nah, we bought it, but I am starting to make shirts, right? So, hey, we could probably hook y'all up. You know? Read more on that? Right, so that's a command. Fringes. You know. Yeah, you said what?
I said I didn't know that one.
Okay, so gotta start wearing fringes. Gotta get zzzs, you know, so it could be easier. Because we don't wear these shirts all the time. Most of the time, I got zzzs on because I can put on anything.
Right, they're a lot. You could get it from cheap online too, and you can wear any shirt or pair of pants.
Yeah, that's what I said. Right? You can just clip it on anything. Let's get one more commandment, right? It is starting to get a little cool out here, but really good one. Go to Leviticus 19 and 26. This will be the last one.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 26. You shall not eat anything with the blood, neither shall ye use enchantment nor observe time.
Right, so it said we cannot eat anything with blood. Right, like the so-called white man, he can't eat anything, you know, with blood in it. He don't like his food very well done. Right, we gotta ask for our food to be well done. You know, so we can't eat nothing with blood in it. Right, that's a commandment. Read that again. It's another.
Neither shall ye use enchantment nor observe time.
Nor observe times. Y'all any zodiacs? What's your zodiac? Pisces. You ain't even supposed to know that.
I'm not.
No, because the Lord said we can't observe times, right? That started in the ancient Babylonian Empire. So that would actually be idolatry. I believe they are like demigods, zodiacs. That's the first commandment, that we should have no other gods before the Lord, you know. So no more zodiacs and no more anything but blood. Right? So what would be our nationality for y'all? Israelite, right? From what tribe? What about you, brother? I can't hear you, brother. Israelite. One more time, let's get it for the brother. Right? Romans 11 and 1. You gotta be sure of this, brother. You can't forget. Yeah, you gotta be confident. So we confident saying we black. We confident saying we now African American. All the terms that a so-called white man gave us. Right? Read that.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 1. I say then, hath God cast away his people? God forbid. For I also am an Israelite.
I'm a what?
For I also am an Israelite.
So you a what, brother? An Israelite. Can't forget that. You're not a black man, right? Damn color of the sister shorts or your pants, right? You an Israelite, you can't forget that. You know. So what's some commandments y'all learn before y'all go?
Can't eat anything with blood in it.
Right.
You should wear tassels, or which I forgot the word you used.
Fringes, you got tassels. Right, for an alternate, make it easier, yeah, you got a tassel. Right. What else you said? So you saying that.
Oh, we can't eat stuff with blood in it.
Okay, what's another commandment?
Anything without scales or
fins and scales, right?
Right.
Right. Y'all know one more?
Thou shalt not lie.
Yeah, that is
that-
one.
that is
but-
one.
Yeah, that ain't one we just
I can't
went
remember
over.
the other ones y'all said though.
What's the modest apparel?
Oh yeah, the modest.
Right, right. So, just watch, learn more, because we in the last days. Right? Go to 2 Timothy 2:15. Well, definitely got it. Increase in knowledge. Actually, go to Proverbs 4:7. You got to get the wisdom, because it's over 600 commandments. It's 613. But a lot may not apply to you because you're a woman, right? And a lot deals with ceremonial laws. But our temple was destroyed, so we can no longer keep certain laws, right? So even though it's 613, you know, it's really easier to keep than most people think, right? Read that.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 7. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all thy getting, get understanding.
Right? And the wisdom is the law, statutes, and commandments, right? We got to start keeping the commandments, right? So y'all look into that information. What's your name?
Asia.
Asia, what's your name, brother?
Mario.
What you said?
Mario.
Mario, right? So Asia, Mario, look into the information, get built up, right? So y'all have a good rest of y'all day.
Thank y'all.
All right, clap it up for the brother and sister. Y'all very humble. Most people like to argue with us, right? Even though we just coming out of the Bible.
Are you?
All right? Yeah. All right, you will see in that video. But y'all have a good rest of y'all day.